Well, it wouldn't be a video of mine without this bloody traffic light, would it? It is 5:52 in the morning. I am on my way to Birmingham Airport. Oh, there we go. Great. Birmingham Airport. Because Go West, head north today. We're playing in Glasgow. I've got a few friends coming to the show actually, which is really exciting. People I don't see very often, mainly because they're in Glasgow and I'm not. So that's really exciting. It looks like it's near sold out, so that's going to be really, really good. Met the crew yesterday as they were on or the day before, sorry, as they were on their way up. So all my stuff's already there. So yeah, job is a good one, as they say. I'm only 25 minutes from the airport, so it's not a long scoot at all. It is quite cold though, but it's a nice ride. So let's head off and see how we get on. Trying to find the positives of flying this early. My flight is at 8:35. Is that I do arrive really early, and I think we're just staying at an airport hotel. So, sorry, excuse me. So I could just wander over and get myself checked in. Sound check's not till 5, I believe. So I've got time for a bit of a rest and reset before all the madness begins. Although I've got to say, big shout out to the Go West crew. We call it sound check, but the work's all done by the time the band get there. It's literally a 1 2 1 2. Is everybody happy? Off we go. The great thing about all this digital kit and all the technology these days is, once our sound was dialed in when I joined and I got all my in-ear monitoring dialed in, that's sort of been set in stone now. So it's just booted up when the desks are all booted up, and sort of that's that. Other than some minor tweaks here and there. So yeah, it's no dramas, which is great. So, let's say sound check lasts 15 minutes, 5 till 1:15. We've got time for a leisurely dinner, and start to get spruced up for the show. My sprucing usually involves brushing my hair, and that's it. When Megan used to be gigging, her sprucing used to be 3 or 4 hours of hair and makeup, and I know she used to envy me slightly that my preparation time pre-gig, not that I was looking anywhere near as delicious, but that my preparation time pre-gig was minimal. I thought the sun would have already been up, but it's not. I know I could have googled that, but I thought it already would be light, but it's really not, is it? Although, no, there's hints of it over there. Right, there we go, visor down. It's a lovely fresh morning though. Oh, there we go, look, red sky, love it. Right, joining the motorway here, Friday morning. Let's see what the traffic's like. You're going to hear me bang on about it a lot on this channel, but my favourite feature has got to be cruise control. Especially on, not that this is one, but especially on long rides. I mean, it takes so much you do a long journey without it, and your wrist lock is so annoying, especially occupational hazard. But if I'm going to a gig, you don't want to arrive with your hands, already knackered. So it is very, very handy, that. I've got all the panniers on. I don't often ride with the panniers on. I mean, it doesn't really change. It changes your fuel consumption quite drastically on the motorway, because it's essentially like having a parachute on. But obviously, when I park at the airport, I need to put my helmet, and I've got my bike locks with me and all of that. but I much prefer riding without them, mostly for filtering really. You can be so much more confident going in and out of traffic when you haven't got two massive great boxes either side of your bike, especially as these really do increase the width of the bike significantly, and it is past the handlebars, so yeah, when filtering you haven't got that sort of that reference, that visual reference of the width of the bike. Yeah, and if you clonk someone with the edge of your handlebars, you might have a little wobble and you can wave and say sorry, but if you hit them with these panniers, you know, either you're going to properly break something on their car or you're coming off, you know. There's that infamous video of that guy, is he on an RT, riding next to some docks, and his panniers hit a cone or hit a bollard and he's off into the water, which is a bad day, isn't it? So yeah, let's not do that. Thankfully it doesn't look like, with 2 miles until I join the M42 heading north, it doesn't look like I'm going to have to do any filtering. I love that as I say that there's some brake lights up ahead, but no, it looks alright. It looks alright. I am going to merge left here. Let's do it after this white car. There we go. This bike's so good at motorway speed. I mean, almost rides itself really, which bodes well for all those major long journeys that I've got in June, because it's just not as fatiguing as other bikes I've ridden. I'm just too big to do the whole sport tourer thing, I think, although that new Kawasaki one looks great, but it's just too wristy, I think, for me, because I'm tall. Just be leaning over onto my wrists, and after hours and hours, that's just not going to be the one. Gorgeous bike though. I saw it at the bike show at the Excel, and it was absolutely stunning. Although I've got to say, the highlight of the bike show for me was the parking. Obviously you had all the new bikes in the exhibition or whatever, but the bike parking was free, and it was in another exhibition hall, and just seeing hundreds and hundreds of everybody's bikes of all ages and shapes and sizes, and you know, customizations and specs. It was, you know, that was as good that was as good as anything we saw in the exhibition. Right, here we go. The motorway doesn't look too bad, because you never know. This has been absolutely shocking, this bit of road, over the past year or so. They've done a lot of road works. They're building new junctions for the airport and all of that. Yeah, and it's been mostly gridlocked. Not quite as bad as the M25, but definitely nearly there. Tell you what though, because this is only a short sharp blast of the airport, I neglected to put my earplugs in, and they do really make a difference, don't they? Wow. Although, I mean, adventure helmets are notoriously noisy anyway, and this one, which is an Akita Adventure, I think it's Akita, I'll correct myself on that if I'm wrong, is probably not the quietest in the category either. But I actually much prefer, I've got, obviously for work, I've got the custom moulded silicone earplugs. They're really, really great, but I don't mind the foam ones, you know. The foam ones are more just full noise isolation, and if you're going to do a whole day on the bike, I actually prefer them than the ones that let in a little bit of filtered noise. Yeah, you feel a lot more sort of in your own bubble. Obviously you can still hear traffic and you can still hear the bike and whatever, but it's certainly less fatiguing. Right, let's go. Right, we're coming off here. Birmingham Airport and the NEC. The NEC is probably my childhood dream venue. All the big bands that I loved as a kid, I came to the NEC to see. All the big arena bands, obviously as this was my local arena. So, Judas Priest, Jamiroquai, that's quite a mix there, isn't it? Just off the top of my head, those were two fantastic gigs in there. I have played the NEC. That was a bucket list moment. The only problem with it is it's not near anything other than the airport. All the big sort of London venues, it's very easy to get to, the tubes or other transport things. Whereas the NEC, that's it there, Resort World, unless you're going to the NEC, you're not going to be round here for any other reason, I wouldn't have thought, other than flying. So here we are, we're coming to Park, which I'm still slightly flabbergasted that it's completely free to park for a bike at Birmingham Airport. However, the short pickup bit where you can just pull outside the airport, you wait for whoever you're picking up, and they get in the car and you pay. It's £7 for 15 minutes, and then I think £3 per minute after that, which is ludicrous. I mean, you could spend. So you're going to spend more in 15-20 minutes there than if I parked my bike for 2 weeks. It all seems a bit illogical, but I'm certainly not complaining, because I'm definitely going to make more of a habit of this when I'm not flying with kit or suitcases or checking guitars in and all of that. This is definitely the way forward. Right, car park 2 is where the bike parking is. Anytime, mate. Yeah, and it's a really well-located car park as well. It's not even like I'm in some far-flung long-stay thing where I've got to get the bus and all of that. It's right next to the terminal. I'm sure my enthusiasm for this is shining through. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm also loving the prospect of a Pret sandwich and a peppermint tea. Didn't eat loads yesterday. Megan's not been very well. Her Crohn's disease has come back with a vengeance. It's just when you start to think you've got one thing under control. When she was just given the all clear from Crohn's, and I mean within a couple of days of being diagnosed with brain cancer, which, as you can imagine, was a barrel of laughs. Oh, how we laughed. And now her cancer's in a stable place, and we're, no sign of regrowth, and we're really pushing forward with that. Now it's come back with a vengeance. So she was very ill yesterday. Unfortunately, we've had to cancel a trip I'd booked for her birthday to go to Copenhagen. Some indecision going on here. He's just looked at the prices. That's what it is. I had to cancel a trip we'd got booked to Copenhagen. I also cancelled a trip to Paris. But it's far better to have these trips in, I think, and us not be able to go. And the great thing about Booking.com is, yeah, I've lost some money on the flights or whatever, but everything else, you can cancel up to a couple of days before. And it's better to have these things in and then not do them than just resign yourself to not doing them, So there's a bit of psychology in there for both of us as well. Right, let's do this. But I'm full confidence that we'll get her Crohn's sorted, as we did 11 years ago or 12 years ago. It's just out of the frying pan, Right, let's see what happens here. Are they going to let me in? Ugh. I'm going to press this button. Let's do it. Oh, legend. Brilliant, look at that. I'm going to go there. Or try to. Ooh, ground is a little slippy. Right. Look at that. Right, I'm here. I'm going to lock the bike up and I'll probably see you in Glasgow. See you there. do you know what? I'm back. We're back on the bike. Last night's show was wicked. Really good energy, good crowd. I got to see an old friend I've not seen for a very long time. So yeah, just a really lovely evening. So now I've got only 9 miles to get to the next venue. I'm going to drop my backpack there, and then we're going to just go into Central Brum for. Oh, come on. Central Brum for a bit of lunch, which is going to be fantastic. Right, are they going to let me out? Hi, I'm just on a motorbike. Are you able to let me out? What's going to happen now? Thank you so much. Right, are you going to... Oh, and it's a glorious day. Look at that. It's sun visor downtime, I think. Where are you? There we are. Oh. Yeah, so last night's gig was absolutely wicked. And I really like when you've got consecutive shows, because you know, the first show you think, oh, you know, you relax a bit more because you think, well, if I don't absolutely nail it this time, I've still got tomorrow. And then, you know, the second night, it all just feels a little more settled. It's great. So yeah, off to the venue in Birmingham now, and then I shall ride into the centre of town. So I shall dial you back in when I get back on the bike to do that. It's 9 uneventful, well, hopefully uneventful miles to the venue now. So I shall see you when we ride into the centre of town. So predictably, I arrived a lot earlier than the rest of the band who are in the bus. So they're over there, and I'm just going to let them arrive, and I'm going to follow them in to wherever it is we're going, because this is a big place and I've no idea where the loading is, where the parking is. So yeah, just sit out here in the sun and wait for them, really, which is not a bad way to spend your time. You know, it's really not. Right, there they go. Let's go. Ta-da! Right, we are now heading into central Birmingham to get a bit of food. That Ford Tornio, whatever it has got the band in. We're going for some tapas. It's going to be great. The crew aren't even here yet. They're driving down from Glasgow in the lorry. So we're going to go in to town, get a bit of dinner, get a bit of lunch, sit by the canal, enjoy ourselves, and then we'll head back in time for sound check. All good. So we're coming into central Birmingham here, and I hate this road because there's no central reservation. Look, and it's basically 2 3-lane motorways with a dead lane in the middle, and it's just ripe for someone having a shocker and driving into the other carriageway. I mean, whose idea was that? Yeah, but not far now. 8 minutes out, and I'm hungry, ready for some lunch. Properly immature, I know, but and here we are. Obviously, I managed to get through traffic before them, so I'm just going to wait for them. But here we are at the mailbox in Birmingham. Dinner time! Right. L lunch was lovely. I'll put a picture in. I over-ordered, but I love doing that. And now we are off back to the gig. Right, let's do this. Hopefully it's one of these pay at the barrier things. I really hope that bloody works. Right, where am I going? Let's do this. Let's see if pay at the barrier works. Come on, coast. Can we make it? Yeah. Right, so glove off. It's always a palaver. Ticket in. Take ticket. £9. Is it as simple as that? Yes, it is. Ta-da! Right. So. Oh. Out into the sun again. They've got a little bit of a head start on me, but I reckon I'll definitely be able to catch them up. Because I don't have to worry about traffic. Right, here we go. Come on. Is everybody going to be nice and sensible? Yes, they are. I've got the big panniers on, which means I can't just scoot round people. That's alright, I'm not in any rush. So there, over there is Aston Villa Park, where Black Sabbath are going to do their final gig. Unfortunately I'm on tour, otherwise I'd have gone, although the ticket prices are absolutely extortionate. I don't know what we're going to do about... Oh god, crosswind is crazy. I don't know what we're going to do about the sort of live entertainment industry's just escalating costs, because £450, £500 for a single ticket is just ludicrous. But I suppose that's the way capitalism works, isn't it? People are paying it, so, you know, as long as people pay, you can charge it. Which is a shame. Well, those bumps are crazy. Sunny Birmingham, what a sight. Tell you what, these corrugated bumps are bloody horrible on here. There's Fort Dunlop over here on the left. Murray Walker used to work in there when he was in advertising. There's a trivia fact for you. Back again. And the curse of the temporary traffic light. That does seem to be the sort of reoccurring theme on this channel, doesn't it? Sat at temporary traffic lights. Perfect. Right. It's back in here. There we go. Made it. Right. I'm done. The boys have just got in the bus. They've got all the way down to London, and bless Paul, the TM's got to drop everybody off at their own locations, and then I think he's heading straight to another tour tomorrow. So he's going to be knackered, whereas I have only got 37 minutes home, look, which is rare for me. It's usually me that's got to go all the distance. What's the temperature? 8 degrees. It's not awful. I haven't put my warm bottoms on because I think I can make half an hour home. The gig was great. It was a corporate tonight, actually. It's my first with Go West, and it's great. You know, it's very different energy on the gigs, but you just sort of relax into it, and you know, the songs are so good, the players are so good that, you know, there's no such thing as a bad gig, really, and there's always stuff that you can try and perfect, and you know, every day's a school day. So yeah, great fun. And now I'm heading home. Thank you so much for getting this far in this vid. If you haven't skipped, it's been a great weekend, and I am looking forward to getting some sleep. I will sleep well tonight. Lots of love to everybody, and yeah, if I can find neutral, I'll be able to turn the camera off. There we go. Right. See you on the next video, everyone. Thanks ever so much.